It is now officially September, and while the sun is shining and you still have the warmth left over from summer, pumpkin spice season is officially here as well. So today I'm going to show you an excellent recipe to make your own pumpkin spice syrup at home and a couple of fabulous cocktails and how to use it. Stick around. Hi friends, I'm Erin from the Wine Sisters, and welcome to our channel, where every week we show you how to eat, drink, and entertain like a pro. Yes, I am back in the city. I am back in Toronto after spending the last 3 weeks at the cottage. Perhaps you saw some of the videos that we put up from our cottage travels, our cottage exploits. You can check out last week's right there. It's absolutely exquisite and still very apropos for the end of summer. But today we are on a completely new topic. It's now officially September, and even though it's still officially summer until the 21st or so, you know as well as I do that when back to school comes around, our mindset just flips into fall thinking. So we're already thinking about sweaters and scarves, and yes, the good old pumpkin spice latte, the PSL. I was walking down the street today, past all the coffee shops, and they are proudly boasting that these are ready to roll for all of your drinking pleasure. But a couple years ago, as delicious as these things are, I really just can't handle having that bottled stuff. You know, not only is it often insipidly, cloyingly sweet, it's also filled with stuff that I can't pronounce. So it just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies and I'm not really interested. So I started creating my own pumpkin spice syrup. Right here. It's actually very easy, and I've linked that recipe in the blog below. All you really need to do is warm up some water with a mixture of white sugar, brown sugar, your fall spices, as well as pumpkin, of course, to make it a pumpkin spice. And you've got a delicious syrup that's gonna go great in your coffees, in your chai teas, on your vanilla ice cream, and on some fantastic cocktails. And I'm gonna show you two of my favorites right now. So let's get to it, shall we? I'm gonna start off with our pumpkin spice old fashioned. So this is clearly a riff on that classic cocktail of the old fashioned. That's right, you got it. Funny how that works, right? So to this, I'm going to add an orange, and I'm going to add our pumpkin spice, and I'm going to add a little bit of bitters. When you typically make an old fashioned, this is where you take that sugar cube or a teaspoon of sugar, you'd put a couple dashes of Angostura bitters in there, and you'd muddle it all up and top it with some bourbon. But this is gonna be a little bit of a riff. So I've got my orange, slice of orange, I've got 1 or 2 dashes of my Angostura bitters, and I'm going to use a half, it's pretty potent stuff, I'm going to use a half of my pumpkin spice syrup, and in that will go. Before I start adding in the ice, I'm just gonna muddle it a little bit, where that's going to not only release some of these orange oils, as well as blend up the sugar and everything together. And it just, you don't need to go and muddle within an inch of your life. You don't need to take out all your aggressions on this one. Just a gentle muddle is going to be fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 2 ounces of bourbon, whatever bourbon tickles your fancy. If you'd rather use Scotch or Irish whiskey, you can use that as well. I'm going to give it a little stir with my paring knife, because why wouldn't you? I'm kind of a badass like that. And now I'm going to put in my ice cube. And that's all there is to it. If you wanted to top it with a little bit of club soda, you could, but I really like it this way. So let me just also put in my orange twist. Do the famous bartender trick of wiping it around the rim so you get all those orange oils. Put it there, let's put that right on there. And that is your pumpkin spice old fashioned. It's warming, it's got all that beautiful pumpkin spice, it's got that gorgeous kick from the spicy bourbon. This is a terrific one. If you try it, do leave me a note in the comments below and let me know what your favorite bourbon is to use for an old fashioned. I'm gonna take one more sip and then get to my next one. I love a good cocktail. And that, my friends, is a good cocktail. Okay, so we'll put that one off to the side, and now we're moving on to my next favorite cocktail. This one's called the Pumpkin Spice French 75. And if you've been watching for a while, you know that champagne cocktails are among my favorite ways to start a party. They're among my favorite cocktails, and I do love a traditional French 75. In fact, you can see the video of how to make a standard French 75 right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just gonna riff on this a little bit. As we said in that video, typically French 75s, those are going to be a combination of lemon juice and sugar and or simple syrup, as well as some kind of brandy, gin, something like that. And we're gonna riff on that as well. So into my shaker filled with ice, I'm going to use the juice of half a lemon. So let me just squeeze this out for you. Hold please. Juice of half a lemon goes in there. I'm going to use a 1/2 ounce of my pumpkin spice syrup. So this of course is going to replace my simple syrup or my sugar cube. And I'm going to use my 1/2 ounce of brandy. You can use cognac, you can use Armagnac. I think it's really great. I would stay away from gin for something like this because, you know, I don't think it works as well. I've got a couple of extra cubes in here and I'm gonna give this a little shake. How fun is that? Get that nice and chilled down. And I'm going to strain it into my flute. If you would rather use a coupe, go crazy. I really like the elegance of a flute. Perhaps I'm old fashioned, I don't know. So we've got the gorgeous base to our French 75. Let me put that over there. Sparkling wine, ha! How about that? So I've got this little 1/2 bottle. This is a really great little bottle. I like having these smaller bottles around, especially if I'm only gonna be having 1 or 2 cocktails. I find that, you know, if you open up a full bottle of champagne or sparkling wine and you don't finish it, of course it can go to waste. However, if you wanted to, check out this video right here on what to do with leftover sparkling wine. Now don't forget from our video from last year about how to open up a bottle of champagne. It's always 6 twists of this cage. And I'm gonna go a bit rogue. I'm gonna kiss the edge of danger with my toe. I don't have a cloth, but I'm gonna wing it and hopefully it'll work out just fine for me. Hopefully I will be rewarded handsomely for my intrepid danger seeking. So I'm just gonna get this cork right out. Sound of angels weeping. Okay, so into my base for my French 75, I've got my champagne and I'm just gonna give it a little top up. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Woo! That's classy, right? You didn't see that, no one saw that. But just like Julia Child says, hey, if no one's around, who's gonna be the wiser? Okay, gonna get a little bit of a lemon twist here. Now that that fizz has gone down, I will do very gentle top up. There we are, that's more appropriate, right? Put a little lemon twist on there, et voila. Your pumpkin spice French 75. It's a thing of beauty, to be quite frank. It's bright and fresh from the lemon and that champagne, but you've got the warming spice coming from the pumpkin spice syrup, as well as that nice warming note from the brandy. Absolutely exquisite. So friends, here are your 2 pumpkin spice cocktails to make brilliant use of your pumpkin spice syrup. If you enjoyed these cocktails, please leave us a comment below. Let me know, what are you drinking this fall? Are you ready for fall? Are you ready for pumpkin spice season? And tell me as well what you're going to do with your pumpkin spice. And if you love this video, if you found it of value, we're always grateful for positive reviews, and maybe give us a like and hit that subscribe button so you can be alerted to when we drop a new video, which is every single week. So until next week, friends, stay well, drink better, and happy pumpkin spice season.